It's time to take a very cynical look back at the latest episode of the NXT on the Wrestling Show, baby. Well, welcome to the Wrestling Show. I'm your most fickle host, Lip Hazlewood, and this is a very cynical look back at the latest episode of Representing the WWE, and live from the Performance Center in Orlando, Florida, it's the NXT. Air date, July the 18th, 2023. This episode is, of course, the road to the Great American Bash. Great American Bash. Now, before we dive into the show, just a quick shout out to the non-competitors. Now, first, he's not there today. He's barely around. You know, he barely shows himself around there. But he's the man. He's the one that makes all the decisions. He is, of course, Shawn Michaels, complete with his music, and of course, going backstage. Getting all the backstage scoops and all the backstage or pre-match interviews. Backstage scoops and pre-match interviews, that's it. We have ourselves Mackenzie Mitchell doing double duty today. A lot of work today. And of course, heading into the ring now. It's the announcer. It's Alicia Taylor. And last, but certainly not least, it's the commentary crew. The play-by-play guys. The, I don't know, some call them the hosts. I call them the narrators of the whole damn show. They are the team of the two-time Hall of Famer. And, of course, the man with champagne wishes and caviar dreams, Shucky Ducky Quack Quack. It's a Booker T. And, of course, back up Booker T. It's the reason-minded, the voice of reason, I should say. And he is a tippity-top commentator of his own right. Well, I usually call him voice of reason. Sometimes I question that. It's a very own Vic Joseph. Now, without any further cadoos, it's time to start the show. The show. So yeah, here we go. We start with the big thing. It's Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. They come to start the show with a little promo, your NXT champion, and is the number one hype guy, Trick Williams, pumping up the crowd. And of course, this is all coming due to, the Great American Bash. And of course, at the Great American Bash will be a championship defense happening. Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov, who had to go through quite the contestant to get there. He had to go through a breaker, a wonderful, insane match that they had last week. So now it's he's talked about Ilya Dragunov. Ilya Dragunov comes in there. He comes out there and he's all on fire. He's a man on fire. Ilya Dragunov. He's got a lot of he's got a lot of energy, that man, he's very, he's got a lot of energy. He's high-strung kind of guy. He's got a lot of passion. He's very passionate today, and he's talking about, basically when it comes to fighting, going into the ring and, putting their all, performing in the ring. You know what? When Ilya Dragunov, he says he puts everything in the ring there, and it's true. I don't think there's a single match where Ilya Dragunov's involved where it's like involved in, you're going to think, well, he phoned this one in. Every single one of his matches are hard. He goes 100%. 100%. And it shows, the quality of the matches. Anyway, so when it comes down to it, in the ring over at the Great American Bash, Carmelo Hayes will go down and defeat, and not Mia Yim's move, eat defeat, which is regardless. So yeah, it comes down to that. And they trade words. When it comes down to it, actions speak louder than the words do. But right now, they really are hyping up this match, and it's I'm looking forward to this one. Looking forward to it. We might have a new world champion, Ilya Dragunov. He is a milestone. I mean, he's a benchmark wrestler. I mean, if you can go head toe to toe with Ilya Dragunov, you belong. You belong where you belong with Ilya Dragunov. Regardless, we move on. And we go backstage. Last week, a match was made, accepted, I should say. Well, regardless what it was your North American champion, Wess Lee. I guess it's permitting a challenge happen where Dominic Mysterio accepted a open challenge, which never existed anymore. But anyways, a challenge match was made. Dominic Mysterio, Dirty Dom Mysterio versus Wess Lee tonight. But it's, Mansoor 2.0. It's, Mustafa Ali looking crisp, looking real crisp. He's talking about, I kind of want to win. When I want to fight the champion, I want to fight the best champion there is, and I think you're the best champion. And he said, what? I don't think, it sounds like you don't think I'm going to win tonight. It's like, well, I certainly hope you do. But I don't think so. He's not called Dirty Dom for nothing. He's not called Dirty Dom for nothing. He didn't say it like that. But yeah, he is Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And he's got Rhea Ripley on his side. The women's champion, one of the most dominant women's champion of all time. Of all time. I would just like to see Rhea at least fight, defend her title once a month. At least once a month. That would be good. Okay, so next up. We go, actually, a little vignette with,
Channing Stex Lorenzo, see? I'm Channing Stex Lorenzo meeting his boss. I'm gonna meet my boss, see? Over at the penitentiary.
And it's Tony D'Angelo getting his stuff back, putting his gear back on, and then meeting his good friend Stex Lorenzo out there and going to the NXT arena.
It's good to see you, boss, see? It's good to see you, boss.
I never doubted you one bit there, Tony. Channing Stex Lorenzo. You've been a good underboss.
So with that, we go to our, I guess you can say, our very first match. It is a tag team match, and it's a returning team. It's they're no longer called, Los Lotharios. They're just known as Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. Versus, of course, the team of Nathan Fraser and Dragon Lee. Now, of course, the team of Angel and Humberto start early by attacking the team of Nathan and Dragon, before the match starts. But the match eventually does start, and it was, when finally said from the pre-match start to the finish, it was about 11 and a half minutes. 11 and a half minutes. This was very interesting. Looked like Humberto tried to tear off the mask of Dragon Lee. Also, while this match is going on, we got Dragon Lee and Nathan Fraser. They get two of their teammates join them. To make them their four. I wonder what they're going to be called. They don't have an official name yet. Dragon Lee, Nathan Fraser's team. They don't have an official name, but the two teammates join them are, of course, Valentina Firoze and Yulisa Leon. Join their teammate. Then they cheer them on. Go! Go team, go! So this match was, the action was great. The wrestling was great. The wrestling action was great, but the referee really had no control of this match. He had no real control on this match. Now, early on this match, Angel Garza, he's wearing his, his old technique thing. He's got the long pants on, and he tears those tearaway pants off during the match, showing his smaller pants. That's right. So that was the highlight of the night, I suppose. But what is really funny in the match here, it's, Angel Garza's in the ring, and Humberto Carrillo, he runs into the ring there to help out, and he's fighting, Dragon Lee in there, and Humberto, he runs to the ropes, runs to the corner, and he does a handstand, like a headstand on the top rope. Oh, and then he gets kicked in the face. So Humberto, he just came in there to do a handstand and just get kicked. It's like, well, interesting maneuver. You know, I wouldn't have done that myself, but that's something you can do, I suppose. Now, the tag ropes were the NXT. They try to use tag ropes as much as they can. And when you don't, the referee still just does not give two shits. Two pooties! So now here we go. We got a moment here. Dragon Lee's on top of the rope there. And what's that? Humberto and Humberto and what's this? Nathan Fraser fought outside there. Nathan Fraser was dumped on top of the commentating table. And then inside the ring there, it's Dragon Lee gets caught on the top ropes. And he gets thrown off by the duo. Now here's the thing. The question is, who's got the greatest moonsault in wrestling? And right now I thought, okay, who's got some? Io Sky's got moonsault, but it's ugly as hell. The over the moonsault is one ugly moonsault. Now, what's that? Charlotte Flair, she's got a moonsault. It's barely uses it. You know, every time she does the moonsault, it's basically a backflip from the top rope to outside the ring. It's impressive, but it's not really a moonsault, it's a backflip. The other one, of course, is Tiffany Stratton, the prettiest moonsault ever. It's called. You know, but really, when it comes down to it, Angel Garza, one of the most beautiful moonsaults ever. The greatest moonsaults ever. Could be either Angel Garza or Humberto Carrillo. They both got one hell of a moonsault. Angel Garza moonsaults and Nathan Fraser outside the ring. Humberto Carrillo moonsaults inside the ring as Dragon Lee. However, Dragon does kick out at the move. The fight does go on. Dragon Lee turns things around. Does the old Alberto Del Rio stomp in the corner. You know, he gets his opponent hung upside down and stomps her chest. Manages to do that every match. Dragon Lee manages to do that too. That's the old corner stomp. So with that said, they take the fight outside a little bit. You know, both Angel Garza and Humberto go out, get outside the ring there. Nathan Fraser ends up giving them both a massive high cross body outside the ring from top rope. Big move. This match was a lot of big moves, a lot of fantastic wrestling sequences, but really, the referee had no control over this match. So with that, it's Angel Garza thrown back into the ring, and then it's Dragon Lee with his finisher, which is really strange. He runs at Angel Garza. Angel then picks him up for like a sidewalk slam type thing. Angel Garza has to pick up Dragon Lee. And Dragon Lee does a full, like a 360 type thing. I'm not sure exactly what it's supposed to be. It's a move. It's a big move. It's an absolute nonsense move. It happened. I'm not sure if it's a DDT. I'm not sure what it is. But whatever it is or was, it worked. Dragon Lee with a sloppy looking big finisher looking finish on Angel Garza. Outside the ring was Humberto walking to these corner there. But he completely ignores what's going on inside the ring. Oh, my boy, Angel's getting pinned. It's okay. I'm not sure what the accent there was, but he just doesn't care. So yeah, the big winners are Nathan Fraser and Dragon Lee. And the rest of the team are celebrating, and Valentina and Yolisa Leone. Of course, now we have a little bit with what's going on with Humberto and Angel. Well, Angel gets right in the face of Humberto and blames him.
You son of a bitch! Why did you do that to me? You're crazy!
And then Humberto's like,
I will not have any of it! I will push you!
And he pushes him down. Oh, that's it. Is that it? Or the Los Lotharios? Oh, they're going their separate ways? After all, they had much more success as individual, as singles athletes, as singles competitors, ever since they got together. And when they left the NXT, actually they got together as the main roster. So as soon as they got together, they became the Lucha House Party. You know, a lot of talent, but complete jobbers. So now with that, we go to a little bit of the Baron Corbin. And he's burned down his last 7 years of his career in flames. And he meets up with, I guess, a metaphorical Baron Corbin. So there's in the skit here, little montage. We got Baron Corbin meeting Baron Corbin 2.0. And apparently, Baron Corbin 2.0 is taller than Baron Corbin. So, my goodness, is Baron Corbin actually meeting Ezekiel Corbin? I think so. Ezekiel Corbin, a little bit taller than Baron Corbin, just as bald. And I bet Ezekiel Corbin has the same tattoos. I heard they got the same tattoo scheme. They really are good close brothers, you know. Anyways, next we go to, I guess this is a little bit of some spying backstage. Someone has did some spying in the toilet. Someone's brought a camera into the toilet. Shame on whoever did that. Bringing the camera, what do you expect to get? And accidentally getting a little teammate, a little talk with Roxanne Perez and Booker T. If I'm not mistaken, why is he doing it in the toilet too, in a washroom? So Booker T's all worried and concerned about, Roxanne. She's got to bring the noise. So, I guess she's supposed to eat a lot of burritos. Because burritos give you gas, and gas makes noise. But she's talked about Blair Davenport. That's a big problem. If you're not ready, she's ready to take you out for some scones and a latte for a good old meeting. Not scones and a latte. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay, so now next up, we got our next match. It is the women's division. And it's between the most sexy woman, the sexiest woman of the NXT. It's Gigi Dolan. And I thought, oh my goodness, ever since the other week with, the match with Kiana James on June 27th, when Kiana poured the paint on top of, Gigi Dolan with the orange and blue. Or, orange and blue. I thought that's going to be a new paint scheme or blue colors, but no, it's not. But regardless, it doesn't even matter. Gigi Dolan looks incredible. Her gear, top notch. Versus, of course, Kiana James, who did the horrible things to her in the first place, painted her in the first place. So is this revenge? I can tell you this. At least Gigi Dolan looks great. Her gear looks amazing. She's super sexy. But this match, however, was slow moving. And it was not good. Not a good match. Now, Gigi got, it's a backboard. Gigi going gets scoop slammed, a big move. She gets slammed, scoop slam. Classic wrestling move. Gigi does turn things around a little bit. Her style of wrestling is basically a punch and kick girl. She's a punch and kick girl. And she ends up with the old, big old pump kick to the old facey Rooney of Kiana James. Eventually, like last time, I should say, Kiana James reverts to going to her handbag. And I don't know why they had let her do that, because obviously it was written that way. Because if one time she puts her handbag by the thing, I've heard a referee say, I saw last time you used the handbag. I'm going to get rid of the handbag. But no, it was not meant to be. Whoever constructed this match should be... Shame. Terrible. So she goes and grabs a briefcase thing, her handbag, and she tries to, she wants to use it against, obviously, Gigi Dolan. And then it becomes, this is the, you can see the handbag sequence. The sequence to end all sequences. Now it becomes a tug of war. Gigi Dolan decides to tug the bag out of the hands of Gigi Dolan. Or Gigi Dolan tugged the bag out of Kiana James, keeping it. And Gigi Dolan wins the tug of war. And she goes to use the handbag on Kiana James. Really? You want to get yourself disqualified? Who the hell wrote this? Do you want it to end like that? Like an idiot? How about you just toss that handbag into the crowd? Give the crowd a souvenir. So ridiculous. So she tries to use it on Kiana. The referee gets involved. He and Gigi starts having their own tug of war over the stupid handbag. The referee wins the handbag war. Tries to turn around to give the handbag away. Gigi Dolan then takes the handbag back. So much nonsense. And so she takes it back. And then with from behind, it's Kiana James. It's the Sling Blade Flatliner, which she calls the 401k. She comes in for a Sling Blade and gives a flatline. Ends with a flat. Like I say, it's a beautiful finisher move, beautiful looking, and it's effective. You know, it's just a take on a flatliner. You know, making it a little bit more exciting and actually better. You know, so it's just not the what's that, the 401k. It's the fact that Gigi Dolan had the handbag and she places it in front of her face and she lands on it. So whatever was inside that handbag, probably a couple bricks, probably not. It's just a handbag, an empty handbag. And that match was over. I'm thinking, wow, that's it. You know, I'm thinking, at least, goddamn it, at least Gigi's very damn sexy. At least she's got that from her. And great ring gear. And Kiana, this match helped nobody. And like I say, this match was about, like I didn't say, this match was about 3.5 minutes. And about the length of an average commercial break, a very long commercial break. So next up, we got some bad news. Bad news! Ivy Nile backstage tearing down the remnants of the past. Diamond Mine, after all, she's the only one left. Leaving the group long time ago. The founder was the first to leave. And that was Malcolm Bivens. The founder, Malcolm Bivens, was the first to go. Then it was Roderick Strong, quietly left in the wind, like a fart in the wind. He was there, then he quietly left. And then, of course, now, Brutus and Julius Creed, gone. So there's no moment. I guess Diamond Mine's gone. Perhaps, maybe, I think the best bet for Ivy Nile is to start her own Diamond Mine. She can be the charge because her in-ring abilities, they are very questionable. But she is a good leader. She's a good leader, and she is a inspirational person. And with her insane cardio, and you know, she can drive people to become better themselves. I think there's a huge future for Ivy Nile in the ring. I'm not so sure. Now, next up, we go, I guess, backstage. It's Mackenzie Mitchell with Eddie Thorpe. And apparently, Noam Dar, ever since losing that Heritage Cup Championship belt, he didn't really lose it. Since he got injured and, what's that? Oro Menza lost the belt to, Nathan Fraser. The title, I should say, the Heritage Cup. Noam Dar's been absolutely depressed. He's been Mr. Depressed, comatose man, Mr. Comatose. So I guess now he can't do Supernova sessions. And Eddie Thorpe is not going to be on Supernova. So Eddie Thorpe's going to be talking what he thinks about the situation. And then we got ourselves the Meda 4. All of them, it's complete with, Lash Legend, Jakira Jackson, Oro Menza, and the comatose one, Noam Dar. And of course, Oro Menza, speaking for the group, he's like, listen, hey, it's tough. Sorry about the fact that there's going to be no Supernova sessions. But here's a consolation prize. He gives him a wonderful autographed picture of the great one, Noam Dar himself. And what does Eddie Thorpe do? He doesn't just, no thank you, I've got plenty of these things at home. I use rolls them in my toilet. So you can take this. No, he doesn't. He rips it in half like a straight up, insult. This is what I think of you, rip. I guess that's a little better than wiping his ass with it. Anyways, Oro Menza takes offense to that, and they start a match. They want a match.
That's it. We have a ring. Let's go. I'm offended.
Okay, with that, we go to our next match. And it was, of course, it's Axiom and Scripps. Earlier on, they were met up with Bronco Nima and Lucien Price. They're in the ring there, and they end up having a match. Scripps is like,
hey, you want to have a first match? Well, we'll fight you. We'll fight you.
So Bronco Nima, he starts the match, I believe. Bronco Nima starts the match, and he's in there, and he's with Axiom. It was okay. Bronco Nima and Lucien, they're two big guys. They're two big dudes, like 300 plus pounds. These guys are big. And these guys are really making dwarfing Even though, of course, Axiom and Scripps, are, of course, cruiserweights. But here's the thing. It was Bronco. He was getting owned. He was getting out-wrestled by Axiom. Axiom tags in Scripps for a hot second. Now, and then Scripps, right after that, he gets like an armbar done on, Bronco. And then tags back out. Now, of course, Scripps used the tag rope. I'm thinking, wow, I didn't think Scripps would use it. But Axiom never bothered using the tag ropes. I'm ashamed to say that. But anyways, it becomes now Axiom versus Bronco. And Scripps is just not leaving the ring. The referee's like, hey, what's going on here? What's going on here, buddy? And then, before you know it, Scripps is attacking Axiom to the back of the head. Knocking him down, and then, before you know it, what's his name? Bronco Nima. He starts beating up some Axiom, tags in his brother, or his brother from another mother, Lucien Prince, and they basically, referee completely forgets about the rules of a tag team match. And he lets them go at it. Hey, 2-on-1, whatever. Let it happen. Let it happen. It's happening. And eventually, we get a 2-on-1. It's, a tangent move, I should say. Where it's Lucien Price throws, Axiom into Bronco Nima towards his direction. Bronco jumps up. And he basically jumps up with a foot in the air, like he's going to kick. But then he just jumps up through the air with a foot in the air, and he ends up pushing. It looks like he pushes Axiom down with the foot. It wasn't a kick. It was a jumping push with the kick. It was so weird. So weird. But anyways, referee didn't care. Because this happened for a while. They were in the ring for a little while there. Referee's not counting this. Well over 5 seconds. Well over the allowed time for Bronco to get the hell out of the ring. But no, it's okay. And it's, obviously, it's Lucien Price gets a pin. Now, next up, we got ourselves the D'Angelo family reunion, baby! Where Channing Stacks Lorenzo gets a bunch of randos, like I guess random Italians in the ring there, and to have like a housewarming party for Tony D'Angelo. So ridiculous. And they go over what happened, Hey, you know what happened? The old going through the story of, So yeah, they go through the story of what happened with the Angelo family and the Gallus boys. So ridiculous. But the whole thing basically wrapped around the Gallus didn't want to give Tony D'Angelo and Stacks a title match. So then they had to do some. I'm not even sure. This is so ridiculous. The script this year. Whoever's in charge of this. Oh my gosh. Maybe we're gonna have a new tag team champions. Maybe, because this the old trick down happened where Stacks Lorenzo had to beat Joe Coffey to get Tony D'Angelo's freedom and a tag team match. Because apparently the Gallus thought it was a betrayal where Stacks Lorenzo was going to betray Tony D'Angelo and lose on purpose, and then where Tony D'Angelo would become he would go to jail for some reason because someone has to testify against him, and it's a long, ridiculous story. Anyways, with that said, we got ourselves the Gallus boys. Joe Coffey, he suffers from little big man syndrome. He's got the big old flappity gums. Big old flappity gums doing all the talking.
Oh, I'm Joe Coffey. Joe Coffey. Oh, coffee. Oh, coffee.
So yeah, Joe Coffey, goddamn. And he's there with Wolfgang and his brother Marcus, And they talk about, the great American Bash, you're never gonna beat us. Coffee. So yeah, it's Joe Coffey. He pulls out the world's tiniest baseball bat. It's perfect for him. It's like, I feel so big compared to my baseball bat. It's so tiny. It's a wee little baseball bat. He pulls that out there, and he's like, he's gonna try to beat up the Tony D'Angelo's entire family. I'm thinking, even with that dumb baseball bat, it's like 7-on-3. you know. But they pull out the D'Angelo family. They all pull out these crowbars. Ha ha! These props. And I guess Tony D'Angelo and Stacks Lorenzo gets armed, and then they start beating up the Gallus boys. Marcus Wolfgang gets beat first with the crowbars, and then it's Joe Coffey. He gets a double whammy with the rubber crowbars to the belly. And then Marcus Coffey, he gets double choke slam. He gets slammed right through the cheese platter table, baby. The cheese platters. No one's going to eat that anymore. But at least it was a nice cheesy landing by Marcus Coffey. So, yep, this is a big thing. Perhaps it's going to be the next tag team champions are going to be the D'Angelo family. In due time, too. Because, Tony D'Angelo, he was away for some injury. Some serious injury. Maybe his knee somehow re-injured his knee. The one he took dropped a hold wrong and ran on his knee, broke his knee. Regardless of the past. Now we move on to the future. And we got ourselves a little bit of a Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams. They're walking the backstage and they see a bunch of weirdos. And that's, of course, the Dyads. Joe AC, Mr. AC, Joe Gacy, and the Schisms. What's that? Ava Rain, Rip Fuller and Jagger Reed, and a bunch of trainees back there with the masks on because they're too embarrassed to show their faces. Anyways, we have Dragunov coming out there. You get a little bit of attention going on because Joe Gacy starts blabbing about his gums. It's like, here comes a new future champion, blah, 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 blah. He's my friend. We're good friends. He didn't say any of that, but he really wanted to be Dragunov's friend. He was like really trying to,
can you feel the tension? I can feel the tension. You can cut it with the cheese knife.
Joe Gacy. He was saying all that stuff. It's true. So yeah, he's trying to get all lovey-dovey with Ilya Dragunov. And Ilya's like, we may have a feud here, but here's the thing. And he goes right down to Joe Gacy. And he says, you know what, Joe Gacy, you are insufferable. Insufferable. And you know what? If there's any word to properly call Joe Gacy, that's insufferable. It's true. And that would be unbearably arrogant and conceited. His arrogance and conceit. This is unbearable. I'm Joe Gacy. We're a loving family. And he says, you know what? And I'm not a weak-minded imbecile to be, hanging on to your words. So yeah, just like everybody is following him. They're all weak-minded imbeciles. Hanging on Joe Gacy's every word. Grand Theft Gacy, changing up his gimmick just a little bit, changing up his stuff. Yet again. Anyways, regardless, I really should stop caring about Joe Gacy. But I talk about him a lot. So yeah, he gives what's what to Joe Gacy, and then Carmelo Hayes says a few things. And then Joe Gacy attacks Carmelo Hayes. Not a punch though. I mean, what's Joe Gacy? He's gonna punch someone. He pushes. He's gonna go for a hug with his hands hugging. He just pushes himself into Carmelo Hayes, and then they start battling on. I'm saying, well, this is the future. There's gonna be a 6-person tag next week. After all, in 2 weeks, it's gonna be the big old, Great American Bash, and they gotta have a warm up. So yeah, Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams, and Ilya Dragunov are going to be battling Schism. At least I believe it's going to be Joe Gacy and Rip Fuller and Jagger Reed. Okay, next up, we got ourselves a match. It is the women's division again. Women's division, just do not bring it. Did not bring their game tonight. It is, really tough. Really tough to watch. This one here was representing Chase U was Thea Hale. Alongside her was Duke Hudson, of course. And she was fighting Electra Lopez. She barely fights. She's like once every couple of months, And Electra Lopez, she's with Lola Vice. Apparently, This person who apparently does martial arts or something. I'm not sure. He's trying to help, Electra Lopez's game. Electra Lopez, her wrestling skills is very low, very low. Thea Hale, she's still a beginner. She's still very green. She's got a couple moves. She does okay. She's what she lacks in wrestling skills. She brings up with the charisma. Thea Hale's the most charisma woman in all of wrestling. So how was this match? This match was a minute and a half. A minute and a half. Ridiculous. Thea Hale coming out there rambunctious as ever, just throwing around, Electra Lopez a little bit. Nice exploder out of the corner. And after the exploder, she goes on with this. She does this front bump. She runs up. She does this front bump, and she clearly misses. It's just good intentions. Thea Hale is nothing but great intentions. And then, of course, we got ourselves a little bit of the, Lola. She jumps on the ring apron. Hey, I want your attention now. And she does. Thea turns around to give her attention. And then Thea turns around to find herself face first into a clothesline. Knocks her off her boots. Hooah! And then the end sequence, which was pretty much beginning to end, was the end sequence. Electra Lopez picks up, Thea Hale like a choke slam style, two-handed choke slam. Thea Hale grabs one arm, pulls it back down and backwards. She gets the old, the Kimura lock on Electra Lopez. Electra falls to the ground and taps out. Electra Lopez, and she was talking about her Thea Hale's submission skills. It's nothing. She tapped out. Match, minute and a half. It was ridiculous. Nonsense match. After the match, of course, Thea Hale, she goes and challenges because everybody, she made Tiffany Stratton tap out behind the back. So ridiculous how many times that happened. But anyways, people were adamant that she gets a rematch. She feels she should get a rematch. Drew Hudson feels she should get a rematch. Tiffany Stratton comes out there, and eventually, she says, "You know what? I'll give you a rematch. Yeah, this is going to be the easiest rematch of my life because I beat you before, and I'll beat you again." Everybody's yelling, "You tapped out! You tapped out!" It's all right. So now we'll have a new champion. Now here's the thing: Tiffany Stratton. She used to be the golden girl, now I find they're trying to repackage Tiffany Stratton as a Mandy Rose 2.0. It looks like Tiffany Stratton's losing who Tiffany Stratton is and becoming more of somebody else. I don't know, it's weird. It seems very strange. She seems to look a lot more like Mandy. What Mandy would wear in a ring. What would Mandy wear? Give that to Tiffany Stratton, baby. So yeah, I'm kind of concerned. But you know what? If Thea Hale wins, she'll be the youngest champion ever. And who knows? She could be ready. This is a good break Chase U needs to become, I don't know. Moving on. So the challenge was accepted, but Thea Hale changed the things. She said, "I want this next match to be a submission match." Tiffany Stratton says, "No way. Are you kidding me? Forget it." And then Thea Hale jumps on Tiffany Stratton and gives her the Kimura lock until Tiffany Stratton agrees with the match, which is really strange. Very, very strange. No officials out there to stop their champion from being mauled. I mean, there are champions out there, and not one security person's out there to stop this attack from happening. How strange. Anyways, we go backstage. We got the Judgment Day. It's Mommy, Rhea Ripley, and her main squeeze, Dominic Mysterio. Dirty Dom. And they meet up with the Angelo family, Tony Angelo and Channing Stacks Lorenzo. They wish Dominic Mysterio good luck on his upcoming match against Wess Lee. So we know where their alliance lies. And then after that, we have a little bit of Rhea Ripley. You could do a little bit of a confrontation with, I guess you'd say maybe a confrontation with Lyra Valkyria. After a couple weeks ago, Rhea Ripley was toting the bell of Lyra Valkyria, saying that she's a very dangerous woman. Don't mess with Lyra. And then it's Kiana James made Larry look like an idiot. It's true. It happened. I believe it was Kiana. Anyway, so it's like,
You better do something about it. Next week I will. They will not win.
oh, Cora Jade. Cora Jade made her look like a fool.
Next week I will do something about it.
Will she? Who knows? So yeah. With that, we go to our next match, which is, of course, the match was set up earlier on today. It's representing the Meda 4, and it must be some sort of metaphor for something. And versus, it's Menza of Metaphor versus Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe. Now, with Metaphor, of course, it's Jakira Jackson, Lash Legend, and a very, it's Noam Dar. Comatose Noam Dar. Noam's in his wheelchair. He wheeled in there. It's very funny. This match was about almost 5 minutes, close to 5 minutes. This was a lot of back and forth, between the two. Eddie Thorpe. Now the end sequence was this: Eddie Thorpe gets Menza into a belly to back throw, like a suplex, belly back suplex. It was more of a throw. He gets you and throws you backwards, and just launched Menza outside the ring. Eddie Thorpe follows out with a tope suicida, crushes Menza outside the ring there. Now here's where things get interesting in the match. While this happens, Jakira Jackson jumps on the ring apron. Lash Legend retrieves Noam Dar from the wheelchair, picks him up and rolls him into the ring. That's right. I'm like, well, okay, that's interesting. What's going to happen? I mean, how is this going to transpire? So now Noam Dar is rolled into the ring. The referee checks on Noam Dar. He's like, what are you doing here? You can't be in the ring. And he tries to start rolling out Noam Dar. And then we have Shakira and Lash Legend on one side of the ring. And the other side of the ring, of course, is Menza and Eddie Thorpe. So while this is happening outside there, Eddie Thorpe is attacked. Street justice attack. So he got attacked by Dijak. He does not like Eddie Thorpe. Showing him up, being more impressive than he is. So he goes, attacks him, and he leaves. Referee starts doing the count. Eddie Thorpe gets into the ring, beats the count. But however, when he gets to the ring there, he was not ready to fight. Menza finishes up with a, what do you would call it? A spinning heel kick to the face. And 1, 2, 3, it was over. Eddie Thorpe loses to Menza. Okay, next up, we got ourselves a little bit of sort of like a pre-match or pre-match thing between, Blair Davenport and Roxanne Perez. Match build-up for July 30th at the Great American Bash. So it's all comes to this. Vic Joseph introduced them together, and they're in different places, 2 different areas. And Roxanne Perez. Now, Roxanne Perez, she's a small one. She's a little stick of dynamite. She's tiny. She's maybe 5'3". She's very low, no 5 feet area. She's very small. But what she lacks in size and strength, she has in rage and intelligence, I think. She's very intelligent. She can put a match together like no one's business. She's a great wrestler, period. She may not have the size and stature, but she does have the mind and the capabilities to do anything in the ring. Blair Davenport, however, she thinks she's just a girl. She's a girl in a woman's world. And it's time for her to get out. And what does Roxanne Perez do? She takes off her microphone and gets out. Don't prove Blair Davenport right. So yeah, I guess Roxanne's got some hurt feelings. She's got some hurt feelings. And with them hurt feelings, we're going to get some even more with the main event title match. Wess Lee versus, representing the Judgment Day, it's Dirty Dominic Mysterio. And by his side, it's Rhea Ripley. So yeah, Mustafa Ali figured something's going to happen in this match. And would Mustafa Ali join him ringside to make sure nothing would happen? No! Of course not. So what happens in the match? This match was about 10 and a half minutes long. 10 and a half minutes long. This was a fun match. I can't say match of the night because it was not match of the night. The wrestling was good. Got a lot of good back and forth when they did wrestle. It was good. A lot of back and forth in this match. Early on, Rhea Ripley made herself known that when Dominic Mysterio was outside the ring and Wess Lee wanted to do some sort of move, Rhea Ripley made herself like, you know what, put herself in the way. It's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Giving, Dominic Mysterio some time to recuperate. Now, Dominic Mysterio even got his version of the 619 done the right way. Dominic 619 and Wess Lee. Now, Dominic had Wess Lee on the ropes. No, Dominic Mysterio, he had this move. He picks him up for like a backdrop driver. Picks him up for a backdrop driver. Either it was a backdrop driver or, Dominic Mysterio just forgot to drop down. He basically picks up Wess Lee like a backdrop driver and basically drops him on his head. But thank goodness Wess Lee knows how to take a bump. No matter what position he's in, he makes it safe. He makes it safe. So it's good. So now we have a point. Wess Lee, he goes to his one massive tornado DDT from the top. He just really whips Dominic Mysterio to the ground. It was pretty impressive. Now Dominic Mysterio, it gets weird. He decides to leave the match. That's it, I'm going. I've had enough. He goes to the timekeeper's area, grabs Wess Lee's title, and about to leave. Now Wess Lee could have just let the laying dogs lay, and he just could have let him just walk away. Referee would have counted to 10, and Wess Lee would have won by countout. But no. He ends up tope suiciding Dominic Mysterio, throwing him back inside the ring, and then going for a massive spinning, twisting senton. Huge on Dominic Mysterio. Now, here's the thing. After that, we got ourselves, once he does that, before he gave me the pin, I believe, we have ourselves the rest of Judgment Day. They run into the match. Finn Balor runs into one corner there. I mean, this is what I guess Rhea Ripley could have done it herself. They could have done with just Rhea Ripley. But Finn Balor runs into the ring there. Referee's like, wait a second, what are you doing in here? Damien Priest runs to another side there with his money in the bank, with his, with the title, with the North American title. Gonna bash Wess Lee in the head with it. But Wess Lee ducks it. And then with the cardiac kick, knocks Damien Priest in the head. Damien Priest gets knocked for a loop. He hits those ropes, and the referee sees Damien Priest in the ring now. It's like, oh, you're here too? Whoa, what? And he tries to get Damien Priest out the ring. And then, of course, it's Wess Lee. He sets up for his cardio kick again. And when he does, he's met up with Mami with the massive title to the side of the head. Wham, bam, thank you, Wess Lee. Wess Lee falls down. Dominic Mysterio crawls on top of Wess Lee for the pin. No roll-up, nothing, just to crawl on top for the pin. And, of course, Wess Lee loses in this very, controversial match. Controversial. And walking away as the winner is Dominic Mysterio. So, Judgment Day invades, NXT again and can walk away with another title. So, yeah, Mommy and Dominic Mysterio, the power couple. 2 bad titles. So yeah, they can flex. They can start flexing now. So all person left is Finn and Damien Priest were champions. But I think it's this. Dominic Mysterio was basically like Dolph Ziggler when he went to the NXT. When Dolph went to NXT, he won the title, but eventually he just lost it back. So I think Wess Lee will eventually, he's gonna win it back, most likely. But right now, good for Dominic Mysterio. And Judgment Day for helping Dominic Mysterio win. So, that wraps it up for this week's episode of the NXT. If you are a podcast listener, stay tuned for our episode of SmackDown. But our YouTube listeners, this is it for tonight. I'm Lip Hazlewood. We'll see you in the next episode